Well, hello.
Hello. It's
Hello.
nice to finally see you, meet you.
I know, right? How long have we been talking? So long now.
Wow. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually having like a bad week of fatigue. It's
Yeah,
come out of nowhere. I think it might be a little bit of emotional stress as well, but I find that my
back into
main,
it.
yes, my main
hmm
symptom is I just get so tired, and I just feel like
Me too.
I don't want to do anything. I'm like, I
Yeah,
should
I feel the
really.
same. I have those days too. And the weather sometimes doesn't help. When it's raining, it gets even worse.
But tell me how you are, because gosh, you have had such a bad time. So let's
I
start
have.
from the beginning, shall we, Nadine? So
Yeah.
tell me who you are, what you're living with, and yeah, we'll go from there.
So my name is Nadine. Everyone calls me Nave. I was born and raised in the Bronx. I'm 37 years old. I was diagnosed with AS, ankylosing spondylitis, axial spondyloarthritis, all those things in December of 2018.
So
And
let's
it,
go back a little bit.
yep,
When you were having your first like symptoms and feelings of not feeling right, what was that like for you?
it was tough because I was at work when this started. I was an account manager for a car service, a luxury car service. And I noticed that I couldn't sit for long periods of time. And when I kept sitting and I wasn't getting up moving, the pain would get worse and more intense in my lower back. And at some point, it was like, and it just like progressed. And I was ignoring it because I had children, and I'm thinking, well, maybe it's the epidural, the side effects, maybe now kicking in, affecting my back. But then I would take a Tylenol and it didn't help. I would take ibuprofen, it didn't help. Those are some of the things when you have aches in your body, you take those things and it's supposed to relieve it.
Yeah.
But I was noticing that nothing was relieving the pain, and it just got more intense and more intense. And at some point I had to tell my boss, I have to take medical leave because I have to find out what these symptoms are, because I can't deal with it. It's getting really, really bad. It's to the point where I can't hardly walk. I had this like burning, kind of sharp, stabbing pain constantly in my lower back.
How old
And
were you then?
I was 37. I would say I was 33.
Okay. So a
Right.
little bit later on you had symptoms, because some people start
Yeah.
really young, don't they?
Right. Well, going a little bit further back in my teenage years, I noticed that my jaw started shifting to one side of my face, and nobody knew why. So, and I used to suck my two fingers growing up. When I was small, I used to suck my two fingers. So my mom just thought, maybe it's because she sucked her fingers, her jaw didn't align correctly. But we went to the dentist. She took me to the dentist, and they said, if you don't put braces on her, it's going to get worse. So it wasn't until I went for a consultation to a jaw surgeon to find out if it could be corrected, like why this is happening and why it continues to shift. So they ran like a whole bunch of blood work. Everything came back pretty normal besides the HLA-B27. And this was back in 2017 when I was going to like different doctors to find out, like after I left my job, I was going to different doctors. I went to a chiropractor. I went to a neurosurgeon. I went to pain management. I went to all these different specialists before I actually got to the rheumatologist. And then that night when I got admitted, I had this like bursting fire kind of sensation in both my knees. And a few minutes after I had that sensation, my legs went numb. I couldn't feel them.
Oh God.
I couldn't move them. I couldn't feel them. So we called the ambulance. The ambulance rushed me to the hospital, and they did all these tests like they do to make sure nothing was emergent, that I needed surgery or anything like that. So they ruled all of that out back. Like after a week, the sensation started coming back.
So it completely went. You couldn't walk or...
I couldn't walk. I couldn't feel them. The whole week that I was in the hospital, I couldn't feel them. I couldn't move them. They were just like dead weight.
That's scary, isn't it?
Really scary. It's really scary. And then you're going through other pain from the ankylosing spondylitis and the fibromyalgia already attacking your nervous system. So, and then the AS attacks your joints and your muscles and your tissues and all these things in your body. So you're going through that on top of something new that comes up, I just feel like sometimes it's like you have one autoimmune disease and then other ones come.
Which is really common, actually. And I think a lot of people
really
say, don't put everything down to the AS, because it's really common to start developing other things. Like, it's not bad enough.
Which is like, oh, when is this gonna end? You know? Yeah, but I just try to remain, I always try to look for the positive in each day. I know each day is a struggle, and I know you can relate, and other people that, not only have AS, but have chronic illness in itself. We all share one common thing, and that's pain. And trying to fight how we're gonna get up and and fight through this pain that we're feeling in our bodies. Like, how are we gonna do this today?
Yeah.
So I just try to always, remind myself, like, we got this, Nay. You're not alone. Other people out there, just share your journey so other people know that they're not alone, and you don't feel alone too. Because when I was first diagnosed, I never even heard of ankylosing spondylitis. I didn't even know how to pronounce it, yet alone knew what it was. So when I was telling other people, like, I got this, this autoimmune disease called ankylosing spondylitis, they call it AS for short. And they were like, ankylosing what? And I'm like, yeah, I know.
And now it's got an even bigger term. Because, some people have fused, some people haven't, some people have it in the knee, that there's like now an umbrella term for everybody that's got the pain. And they call it axial spondyloarthritis. And I was like, why can't you just, life is hard enough. Why do you have to call it these really long names where
that most people can't even pronounce?
No. So when you want to have a heart-to-heart with your family and sit down and go, listen, I've got this disease. It's called axial spondyloarthritis. Like, it just kills the mood straight away.
It's like, what was that? What did you just say?
Exactly. I've never met anyone that goes, oh yeah, I know the one. Like, not once. Not once. But you're a mum as well, aren't you?
Yes, I'm a mom. I'm of 3. Yes.
Mum of 3. And how are you finding it right now, coming out of hospital?
It's been 50-50, because I have to say something about myself that I learned about myself. I'm extremely, extremely strong-willed.
Oh, yes.
And that's not something that I always had within myself. Like, I had to build that up within myself, not for anybody else, not to do it for anyone else, but for myself. Because if I didn't, I would be drowning instead of swimming. Like, with this disease, you either have to drown or you either have to swim. And I choose to swim because I like to swim. And swimming is really good. Swimming is really good exercise for people with AS too. So if y'all don't swim, get to swimming.
Y'all don't swim. Oh God, I love your accent so much. But listen, we're like opposite ends of the ponds, but we have so much in common.
I love that.
And you know what's really good about you? So it's a really unknown disease, isn't it? But I think there's a few accounts that are making a stamp and really teaching people what it is. And you was one of the first that I came by, and I think what you're doing is excellent on TikTok. You're giving people so much knowledge on this disease, and I just really thank you for that, because if it wasn't for people like you, I found you before I found NAS. And there are many people out there that need people like you to say, hey, we're all over the world, but we're here.
Yeah, right. And we still have to live our life,
Exactly.
That's what people really, like, people lose that a little bit. And I get it, it's hard. Like, I'm not saying it's not hard. It's going to be hard along your journey. It's not going to be an easy journey. But if you surround yourself around people that kind of understand or want to be understanding, because there's a difference between people understanding and just listening to you, and then people that actually get it and want to be there for you and want to go through the journey with you. That's the people that you have to surround yourself with. And you also have to surround yourself with people that keep it real with you, and they're not going to tell you something that's not true. So I'm a real person. I'm not a fake person. I was born and raised in the Bronx, so I keep it real. And sometimes that's bad, and sometimes that's good. But with this disease, I don't like to sugarcoat anything. And that's why I'm really open to sharing. Like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to share medical advice. I'm not going to tell you the things to take. I share my experience. I share my story. I share what I'm going through, you know, dealing with this disease. Sometimes some things may help you that I do. Some things may not, and vice versa. You know, we can learn from each other. And that's why I advocate so hard. And that's why I raise awareness so hard, because I know that different people go through different things because our bodies are all different and everybody responds different to different things.
And do you know what's great about you, like you say, is you show warts and all. You know, 1 minute you're in a hospital bed, the next minute you're twerking, you know, like there's just so much up and down with you. And that is what AS is, isn't it? It's like a roller coaster of what can I do today? What can't I do today? And when I think a lot of people have in common that when they're having a good day, like it's a really good day because we've got so much to make up for. We've done a mountain climb in the morning, you know, we've made a 3-course meal in the afternoon. Like, oh God, you know, a good day is a good day. The thing I do want to know, is there anyone in your family that has this? Or is this just something that's out of the blue?
No, nobody in my family has this. We've gone through possible people that could have had it, that have had like back aches, but no one has tested positive for ankylosing spondylitis.
It's funny, isn't it?
I heard it's a man's disease.
Yeah.
That only men get it. Caucasian people only get it. I've heard that before, but I'm just like, there's so many different cultures and ethnicities that have it.
I know.
So that can't be true. And a lot of women also have it. So it can be a man's disease because a lot of women have it. So
you need to come to London, or I need to come to the
point. I would definitely come to London, girl. I am there.
We'll sort it out. Right, stay in touch, and I want to see more from you. Okay, bye.
Bye.